Pay attention yet. This is to sync up the backup recording with the good recording. And now we're good to go. Good evening. There's more than 100 of you. This is fantastic. Welcome to Crescent Heights High School. For those of you who I have not met yet, my name is Curtis Perrin. I'm the band director here. And in front of you is our grade 8 band. This group has been working with me for about a year and a half at this point. They have made a lot of progress, as have all the students up here. I'm very excited to have everyone here. I'm excited to have a mostly full house. For those of you that were able to join us in December, at that time we were limited to 1/3 capacity, which is about 100 people. And so I'm very happy that we could bring all of, anyone who wanted to come for this performance. We still have some people joining us online. And this video will be made available on YouTube after the fact. Your students got a link posted. If you want to go send it to anybody after the fact and say, hey, look how awesome we were, this video will remain on YouTube for eternity. So no pressure. We are going to start our concert off with a march. One of the greats of band directing and local legend, Bill Wall, who recently had his retirement concert after nearly 50 years as a band director, always said that any good band concert starts with a march. So both the grade 8s and the grade 9s are going to start their sets off with marches. This one is one that you will probably be familiar with. There's 2 good movies, one okay movie, one we don't talk about, and then one that's coming soon that all use this theme. This is John Williams' excellent Raiders March from Indiana Jones. So if you have ever been to a band concert with me, and especially there are a lot of people in the room who have played in bands with me, you know that I say all the time that any band can go and play fast. Only the good bands can play slow. So I make it my goal to make sure that everyone who comes through here, especially in their second concert of the year, gets a slow piece to really show just how good they really are. So this is our slow offering from the grade 8s, and it's a piece by an Ontario-based composer, Ryan Meebor, and this is just a beautiful chorale that shows off the band and their ability to play with nice tone and with good balance. This is Blessed. philosophy of programming band was always the same, that you start with a march, you put your slower stuff and some of your more difficult stuff in the middle, and then you end with something big and exciting. And since the percussion section spends most of that last one sitting around counting rests, I always like to make up for it with something big and aggressive and percussion heavy that they can go and kind of let loose with. And that's what this one is. So for our last number with the grade 8 band, before they give way and we swap bands and get the grade 9s up, this is Surge. So we're going to take just like 2 minutes, chat, stretch your legs, discuss how wonderful that was. We're going to swap bands, and then we'll be right back with you. That was wonderful. years. Also be your show player next year. All right. Look, new band. So this is our grade 9 band. This is the group, and I've been saying this, forever, and I'll probably say it until they graduate. This is the group that was the most affected by COVID. They were about 5 weeks into grade 7 when we got shut down in 2020, and then the rest of that year was lost. And then a lot of this group had band when we were shut down for those 6 weeks around Christmas of last year. And then, that's just the way life is. But my motto with all things when it came to COVID was just keep waving my arms and we'll find a way. And that has been kind of my motto with everything. And that's been the attitude that we've taken with middle school this year. Is it's always been just, it doesn't matter if it's normal, it doesn't matter what it is, we find a way. We're like, life in Jurassic Park, we find a way. So, in following with Mr. Wall's great traditions, we are again going to start with a march. This is one that is an arrangement of a Canadian folk tune, Vive la Canadienne, or Hail to the Girls of Canada. And this is just a nice quick march arrangement of a 19th century Canadian folk tune. So this is Hail to the Girls of Canada. Next one, and for again a slower offering from this group to prove how awesome they are. We're going to one of my favorite composers for a number of reasons, Randall Stanbury. He's primarily a marching band composer working in the southern United States. He's a percussionist, which means that most of his pieces have far more percussion parts than any reasonable school band ever has. But lately, and in the last few years, he really grabbed hold of a need during COVID for music that was available for flexible instrumentation. So instead of having a piece of music that is written with a flute part and an oboe part and a clarinet part and alto and yada all the way down the line, there was a need for music that was written with just 4 or 5 parts that could be played by whatever you happen to have. And so this is one of those pieces. It's written for 4 parts, and we've spread those 4 parts around the band. It's not like we didn't practice this afternoon. Teenagers. You all know, right? So, anyways, I'm leaving that in the video, by the way. Anyways, this piece is arranged for 4 parts, and it's Mr. Standridge's interpretation of what the word is like right before a spring storm. And so you're going to hear a lot of moving parts through the band, but you're also going to hear, specifically from the percussion section, our one-man band over there, you're going to hear some sounds that are meant to kind of imitate the sounds of nature. You'll hear the bass drum roll giving a sound like thunder. You're going to hear some little, triangle finger symbol things, just like the little tings of wind chimes as they make sound through the air. And then right at the end, you will hear the entire band simulating the sound of that gentle spring rain that we've become very familiar with over the last 48 hours. So this is Randall Standridge's Spring. piece that the grade 9s will do before we bring the grade 8s back up and test the limit of any eardrums anybody might have left. It's hard to tell, I teach band. But our last piece for the grade 9s is a piece called The Distant Castle. And unlike some other pieces that are written that have castle in the title, your brain goes to, London, the castles of Europe, and all those like big, angry brick-looking things with moats. And nope, not this one. This is meant to actually provide an image of an ancient Japanese castle. And so you will get percussion parts that are very similar to the taiko drumming that is traditional in Japanese music. You will hear a very kind of reserved, contained beginning before, in typical fashion for the end of a set, we end with something big and wonderful. So this is The Distant Castle. There is no way to quietly move a set of wind chimes. It doesn't exist. Combine bands theoretically quietly. I'm going to ask Courtney Scott, who is our band parent committee president, to come up and say a few words.
I will just try to yell over all the wonderful noise. We just want to really say thank you. It's so wonderful to have a full audience again for the students to perform to. I am the president currently of the Band Parents Committee. And really we do the fundraising. We help Mr. Parent out with all his fabulous ideas for the students. And that's kind of what we do. We do meetings usually once a month. It's not been overly busy during the past 2 years. But within this next year, we are very optimistic that travel will return. And so we will start our fundraising again. And so I just ask if you are interested in helping in any way. It doesn't mean you have to get up on stage and talk at any time, but if you want to help with running some fundraisers, some ideas to support, we would love to have you at our meetings. If you did not get an email from the band blog for this evening's concert. You might want to get signed up for that. That's how all of the communication usually flows. And that just ensures that you are getting the information at the same time everyone else is, and not potentially 2 weeks later when you clean out a school bag and you find a piece of paper at the bottom. So again, just want to say thank you. The information for the band parent committee is on the back of your program, and if you have any questions, I will be here and happy to answer those questions. Thank
So one of the great things, and for as much as, COVID and the disruptions to learning have caused issues, there is one great advantage that it has provided. And it has made it really easy to do more combined music between the grade 8 band and the grade 9 band this year. Because with everything like time lost and time gained, these two groups have had about the same amount of time in the band room. So whereas normally in a June concert we do one piece as a combined group, this year we are going to do 3. So the first one is going to be a piece by one of my favorite middle school band composers, William Owens. He just really knows how to write really good stuff that students in middle school really enjoy playing. And if I had a nickel for every time I would walk in the room and hear small groups of people just playing little sections of this piece on their own, I probably wouldn't need to be here in front of you. I would just be here because I love it instead of because, it pays the bills. This is a piece that has a subtitle because Mr. Owens says that even though it is called The Legend of Shady Lane Manor, it's not really a spooky ghost story. It's more like a kooky ghost story in his own words. So this is The Legend of Shady Lane Manor, or The Spooky House on the Hill. So once again, in continuing the tradition, we're going to put a slow song in the middle, but this is, for those of you that were at our December concert, we mentioned that each band had a piece that was held over from the canceled grade 7 performance that we attempted to do and then didn't work out. This is the last one of those pieces that was a holdover from that concert that I told them way back in February or March, whenever it was, of 2021. That's how years work. I said, well, we'll hang on to this piece. We will do it in the future, and the future is now. This is a piece that is meant, again, to kind of show off the tone, the balance of the band, while hopefully not actually putting anyone to sleep. If you do, don't worry, the next piece will wake you up. This is the Scottish Lullaby. So before we say our last number, I have to say a few thank yous of my own. First and foremost, she's not here tonight, but she's gonna, her spidey sense will tingle. I have to thank Jennifer Davies, who's the drama teacher here at Crescent Heights High School. Not just for being a good colleague, being the only band director in a school is sometimes like living on an island. And Jennifer and I are collaborating on so many things. And every time I come to her and say, hey, we're doing concert week, so can I steal the theater this afternoon and this morning and load stuff in? She has never said no to me, which sets a bad precedent, but that's all right. She's always willing to give up her classroom so that these students have a chance to practice on this stage. And so I'm very grateful to her for giving up her classroom. I'm grateful, and I want to say thank you to the administration, both here at the school, but also our divisional administration. I have colleagues in Lethbridge who are quite literally fighting for their programs right now, as the Lethbridge School Division is cutting elementary and middle school music programs. And I am incredibly grateful for the fact that music at this level has always been supported at Crescent Heights and always been supported in the division. And I'm very grateful for that. And so I offer my sincere thanks to our administration here at Crescent Heights, but also for the school district. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. I said in December that I've missed playing for audiences, and I say now that I miss having a full house of applause every time these folks do something awesome. And so your energy is what we feed off of, because playing to an empty theater sucks. I want to thank Courtney Scott and the executive of the band parent committee who make doing my job so much easier. They help me out when we do fundraising to get ready for trips. They help me out by doing wonderful things like providing a snack for all of your students when we're done tonight. All of these little things that are off my plate make it easier for me to go and just focus on helping your students make wonderful music. And then finally, to the people behind me, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to them so they can hear, because you've heard this already. Ultimately, my job is pointless, because if I just come up here and do this and there's nobody in front of me, then it's really boring. I am incredibly grateful to these students for coming in every day and letting me be my ridiculous, crazy self and putting up with it and making excellent music with me. I really do have the best job in the world, because we get to come in every other day and make noise together and take it from, you know, a little bit of chaos into something truly awesome. And I am forever grateful to every student who crosses this stage for giving up their time, giving up their talents. And so thank you for encouraging them to participate in music. Thank you guys for being awesome, because you make my job really easy. Okay, speaking of chaos, Fires of Mazama is a piece of music that depicts Mount Mazama in the American Northwest, in the Pacific Northwest specifically. And what you are going to hear is a few sections that are going to show the different, parts of visiting a volcano. You will get the grandeur of seeing it in the distance and looking at it in all of its majesty. You will get the energy and excitement that comes from getting close and seeing everything that it has to offer. And then you will get to the chaos, is what we've affectionately called it. There's a section in the middle that will depict the eruption of the volcano. And through this, in the students' music, what they get is a little measure with 3 notes that says, play these notes in random order, getting progressively louder and faster, to then show the chaotic eruption of the volcano. Then the piece ends with the calm after the storm, and then the excitement of a future in the area. This is probably my favorite piece on the concert. It's why we saved it for last. I hope you enjoy it. This is Fires of Mazama. for joining us. If you haven't had enough band in your life, you can come back on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock and hear our senior high band's end of the year performance. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.